Hello everyone and welcome to the weekly trade review number 31. For those of you who do not know, my name is Alex Winkler and I'm the co-founder of Enzlo Inc. I was a day trader in New York City before fully focusing on the company and moving to Florida. And as crypto became a bigger part of our company in terms of payouts, I applied my trading strategies to the crypto market and was able to consistently grow our funds. Now I've documented everything that I do online to refine my own strategy and help others become consistently profitable traders. So today I want to talk about how it's been blowing my mind that how my trading is almost directly correlated to what's going on with my daily life. So right now there's a lot going on with Enzlo, which takes up the majority of my time, and it's been really hard for me to focus on trading. And that's exactly what happened with my first two trades this week. I only made 3 trades this week. My first 2 trades were real losses, and this was purely because of the fact that I just really wasn't paying attention. I was a little scatterbrained because all my attention was building out the new website I'm going to be talking about a little towards the end of this video, and just all this stuff going on there, plus loads of accounting and tax preparation. So that's kind of where my mind is right now. But the 3 trades that I did make this week are really fun and extremely educational, I think, for you guys. So I'm excited to be sharing those. I'll also be sharing a bit about our new site that just launched and one massive deal that you guys will not want to miss out on. In addition to reviewing the top trades and the biggest lessons of last week, we'll look at key support and resistance areas to look forward to of this upcoming week, like we did in the last trade review. Like always, I'll be as quick as possible, but try to provide as much helpful information along the way, so make sure to stay tuned till the end. To get started, like always, I want to share with you guys the trade review journal little overview right here. You can see that on Sunday I made a trade. It was actually a pretty decent little loss here, almost $100. On Wednesday I made a little trade, more or less a scratch, but this one actually could have been very nicely profitable. Actually, both of them were could have been profitable, and I'll tell you exactly why they weren't, and ridiculous mistakes. I almost freaked out about these. Luckily, it did not mess up my last trade, and I was able to bring home a very nice $430 profit on this trade. I could have easily ended this week over $500 in profits if these 2 trades, if I just I'll review it later, but you'll see exactly how this week could have been very easily a profitable week. Luckily, it still was a profitable week. I finished off with $279, so can't really complain. No big profits, but still a very nicely consistent week. Here you can see on the chart that we had a bit of a downtrend with those first 2 trades, and then that last trade nicely brought us into new highs to continue our chart to the upside. So pretty cool there. Before I get into the top trade, which is loading right now and is that $430 profit trade, I want to share with you guys a position I'm in right now. It's another swing trade position, and you can see a little bit into the Coinbase account. So this is our Coinbase account. Here you can see my name, and right now we've been having a pretty nice uptick. So I got into this trade 13 hours ago. It was roughly last night, so sometime in the evening. And when did I get in for this? 43.11. So pretty nice area. Remember, guys, in the Discord, whoa, you can really see it running right now. So it looks like we just broke out of a resistance level, and the price is running. So I was actually going to share the chart with you guys a little closer to the end of this video, but right now looks like a really interesting time to talk about it. Right now we're on a 4-hour view. I just went to an hour view, and we just broke out from this level. Throughout this video, I guess we're going to come back to this trade and kind of follow up with it. It should be kind of interesting to see how much this will run. You can see that just a second ago, we were at $44.40. So I have 207 Litecoin, and if you show what that would have been, my profit would have been, well, not my profit, but my account size would have been 9,190. But if I sold right now, my account size would be 9,412. So that just shows you in the last 3 minutes how fast this price is running right now. And this is the power of breakouts. Once a resistance level is broken, the price just loves to run, and that is exactly what's going on right now. If we zoom in a bit on the level 2, we probably would have saw a little wall here, and that was broken. And after that, there's not as many sellers left because a very clear resistance level was broken, which means the buyers are in charge, and then the momentum kind of takes over. So this is kind of a little live preview of how a breakout looks like. Sweet, I actually have a pretty bigger target. This is a swing trade, so my goal is that we're going to break past this area, and I'll actually zoom out a bit further. What I would really like is for us to even break out a bit further. Let me move this moving average quickly, and I'm hoping that we're going to get past this big resistance line here that we formerly broke out from, and then maybe kind of slow down right around here to take my profits on this larger swing trade. So I might be holding this for a day, 2 or 3, and depending on the price action, I might actually get out of this trade if we don't break out. So if we kind of have a little fake out here and then start crashing back down, I'll get out of this trade. But this wasn't really supposed to be part of the weekly trade review. It just kind of happened middle of the trading review, so I wanted to kind of share it while it was happening live. Let me quickly get back to what's important here, and that is talking about this trade right here. So the last trade that I made last week, it was a swing trade. It was a super relaxed swing trade, and it's a great trade to show you guys that you can make a lot of mistakes with trading, but if you're patient, you take good risk reward, and you are aiming for the meat of the move. So it doesn't really matter if you have a good entry or a great exit, as long as you're getting that larger swing to the upside or downside if you're shorting. That's really what's important. It's not important if you perfectly get in the bottom or if you perfectly get in the top. That's really not what trading is about. It's really nice when it happens, but it should not be your goal. And this trade, this $430 profit, is exactly what I am talking about. So let's go over to it now. This was a double bottom, even though you could kind of say it was a support line bounce, but let's first review the the trade journal entry right here. You can see it was a 5% gainer, so that is actually a pretty nice trade, especially I've been doing pretty small trades lately. So this was a nice refresher. Anyway, I had original limit orders right around this little above the 39 level, and I was really hoping we would bounce off of it, but we never really did. And actually, I thought at this point we wouldn't come back when we didn't keep crashing from here. So I eventually actually keep crashing from here. So this was the double bottom that I noticed. And unfortunately, I kind of bought near this little high area, and we crashed again. And I was like, oh man, that's annoying. I could have maybe got a much better entry, but again, the goal of this trade was a longer term horizon, so it didn't really bother me too much. I actually ended up averaging in again, so I not necessarily doubled up my position size, but I had about 130 and I bought another 70 roughly Litecoin right around this area, actually at a higher price. And the reason I felt okay buying at a higher price is because the price was moving up. We're no longer moving down and hitting new lows, we're moving up and hitting new highs. So averaging in at that point is a lot more comfortable because the price is going up. And then right around here, I could have got out for a very nice profit. Unfortunately, I had no limit order set, and I always talk about setting limit orders ahead of time. I would have been executed, it would have been amazing, and I probably could have bought another entry right around here and then sold again right around here. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. My ultimate exit was right here, which was pretty nice. We did break out very shortly right after I sold. I feel like that always happens to me. Right, I get out, price shoots up around 2%, but afterwards it crashes again, roughly about 3%. And then yeah, it is what it is now and running up. So I got in again after I closed out. I wanted to take that profit though because it was a Sunday and typically we don't have huge breakouts on Sundays. So I was playing a little conservative. I really liked my 5% profit and I said, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. Why not take it now? I'm going to be upset if it goes down. If it goes up, I'll still be happy of having my profit. So I did it. And even better, I took my profits. Price did go up, but it crashed. I bought in again, and now I'm having this really nice run up that we're seeing right now. Moving back over to Coinbase, just to see kind of what the price action is doing. We have some big buyers coming in here. A lot of activity. So this is pretty exciting. Let's see, if I sold right now, our profit would be a little lower. But again, I actually already have a limit order to sell exactly in that range I was talking about earlier. and it is and this is what I mean by this is a longer term swing trade. So my goal to sell is in this kind of resistance area. And why I think this is a resistance area is because, again, it was a former support line. So this support, you can see that we bounced off of it. Eventually we broke under it, and it kind of retested this area and broke back above. So there's a lot of activity here. Again, you can see we came back down to it, touched it, bounced back off of it, and then eventually we broke down. And then a key identifier of a support line resistance line is when you break it, you come back down and touch it just for a second. And that's exactly what happened here. We broke down it, came back up, kind of touched it for a second, and then continued to crash. So this is a very confirmed support line, and we're going to be looking at that. Actually, right now it's a resistance line because, well, you would know if you took the course, a former support line is a future resistance line once you break it to the downside. So this is where I'm going to be looking to sell in the next couple of days. I don't know, it could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, it could never happen. So we're going to be following the price pretty closely. It's always hard to make a video for me when the price is running like that because it's hard for me not to watch it and I get kind of distracted. So I apologize that there's probably going to be a lot of tangents in this video. Right now, I feel pretty good. We broke out and then we're holding our highs here. So we might see a continued breakout. It's going to be a lot of fun to follow. Anyway, let's go and quickly review the biggest lessons. And this is where it gets good. So you want to take profits and set limit orders. You saw that in this trade. I was able to take profits, and unfortunately the limit order I did make, I got in a bit too early. But these trades, you're going to see how the limit order, I completely missed a really nice trade. I even talk about right away that this could have been a $200 profit gain fairly easily if I just waited a bit longer on the entry. Perfect example of what happens when you are over aggressive. So let's see that right now. Here you can see a perfect, beautiful support line. I drew it, we had some resistance here, we broke out from here, and this is actually a blue support line, and on my graphs, I like to make blue support lines that are multi-weeks or months or even over a year support line. So we must have had a lot of activity on the support line. Anyway, we broke out of it, we touched this resistance line, and then we came back all the way to touch it down. And it's kind of crazy how this was a bad trade because before this trade even happened, I knew this was a winner, and somehow I butchered it so hard that I ended up taking a $100 loss on it, which is kind of absurd. So two ways this trade could have been really good is one, I could have bought here and sold for a small, maybe 2% gain here, or I could have waited, and when we didn't break down here and we were kind of holding our holding the crash, the break. This is more or less a fake out. So that would have been a very bullish indicator, and I could have got in anywhere here on this kind of green uptick. Or if I missed that, I could have got in over here. But now the benefit of getting in over here instead of over here is there's a trend reversal. We kind of broke down and held the lower area, and now we're building kind of a first stair and a potential break to the upside. When I was over here and I got in over here, you don't really know how far down we're going to go. Maybe it's going to shoot right down the support line, because when support lines break, they break quickly. And that's why I got out right around here. So if I just waited with this trade, it could have been a very easily profitable trade. So definitely something to take away there. The next trade is a ascending triangle pattern, and this pattern actually was textbook perfect. You can see here that we have resistance, resistance, a little fake out here, more resistance. We touch it every time, and to confirm the triangle, we are forming higher lows, right? So there's a lot of pressure getting consolidated in this area, and there's a high probability that we're going to have a breakout to the upside because it's a bullish pattern, and around 70+% of the time, that's what happens. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, we didn't hold our highs, and we broke down right away. This was over 2% profits at one point, and that's usually where I like to take my profits, but I did not have an ideal exit limit order set, so I never got out of this trade. And before I knew it, the price ran past my entry, and I actually got out of this trade for a small loss. Something I do want to point out though is luckily I did get out and I didn't get stubborn, because if I held it, this would have been a very brutal way to end a potentially profitable trade. This probably would have just drove me insane. So I'm pretty happy I did get out, even if it was a loss, but it would have been much nicer to get out for a small profit instead. So a highly predictable trade, completely gone wrong for no reason, and it's probably because I was working on some other project. I just wasn't thinking clearly. I didn't set my limit order for God knows why, yeah, that's why I'm kind of disappointed in how this trade got out. But I'm also kind of happy because one, it shows a very predictable pattern that anyone can do. Two, it shows the importance of cutting your losses. Because let's say I didn't cut my losses, and even though the price did come back, that would have been a completely missed trading opportunity basically the whole entire week. So you don't want to hold a bad trade, and even worse is what if the price never comes back, right? What if it keeps going down for another 6 months, a year, or what if Litecoin just disappears? So you never want to let a day trade, first of all, turn into a swing trade or an investment, because that's a whole different trading style. And two, if your trade does go against you, you want to get out so you can free up your capital for future trading opportunities. So guys, the two important lessons that we want to talk about is one, take profits, and two, set limit orders, either for really nice entries around key support areas or exit places where you want to take that 2% profit. And a lot of times the price will shoot up at your 2% or 3% profit range, and then it'll go down right away, like you saw with this trade, the day trade 245, where it was a nice ascending triangle pattern. Price went up. I could have got out, took my maybe $200 profit, and been done with it. But instead, I didn't have a limit order set up, and the price went down again, and I missed that exit. So two really important lessons: take your profits and set those limit orders. Let's quickly, before we dive into what's next, check out how this Litecoin trade is going. So you can see here, once this loads, that we are still kind of consolidating here, potentially building a first stair. I don't know, maybe it's really hard to see kind of what this is, but this is typically how a breakout will go. It will kind of consolidate, breakout, consolidate, breakout, consolidate. Mind you, this is a 4-hour chart, right? And this is a 1-minute chart. So on the 1-minute chart, there's a lot of crazy activities that will probably make you go insane if you watch it too closely for too long. So I like to have two charts open. If I'm day trading, I typically have this at a 15-minute or a 5-minute, and then I look for the 1-minute chart for maybe reversals, or I'll look at just for a good entry. I just kind of like to have it open to really see what's going on. And then sometimes I look at the depth chart, but I've noticed there's just kind of a lot of inconsistencies with the depth chart. I don't know if it's manipulation or just people trying to fake each other out, but I don't ever put too much worth into it, although I do like looking at it to see where there's buyers and sellers kind of congregating to identify support and resistance areas. Alright guys, we're almost done with this video. There's only two things I still want to talk about. The first one is this new course website that Heiko and I have just released, and the second thing I want to talk about is the charts that we're going to be reviewing. I'm probably going to be reviewing Bitcoin. I want to review Ethereum a little bit because we had a huge breakout with Ethereum yesterday, Sunday night. It broke out over 10%, and it's holding its highs extremely well. So that's something to review, and I'm also going to be reviewing the Litecoin chart because I am in a trade right now. So like I just mentioned, Heiko and I are launching our new course.enzlo.com website, which is going to be the home of all the courses that Heiko and I have worked on in the past, like this crypto trading course. You can actually be expecting a new revised complete crypto trading course that I'm going to be adding to the site probably close to the end of next month in March. I'll still be doing everything that I'm doing here with the weekly trade reviews and the watch list and the day trade reviews, but I'm going to be moving over the courses most likely to the new website. It's going to be a much cleaner UX for you guys to enjoy the lessons and also keep track of your progress. So as you move along the lessons, you know exactly where you left off when you come back. There's a really sweet course that Heiko just came out with. It's called Real YouTube Profits, and basically it's, if you're ever interested in building your own YouTube course, Heiko lays down everything that he does and shares it with you. The landing page is right here, and right now there's a huge special going on, and Basically, the first 100 users that signs up to this course gets it for just $1. That's right, $1. This course is usually $297, but right now you can get access to it just for $1. But I must say, this might not last much longer. We just opened it up on Friday, and we have 60 already sold out of 100. I know that sounds like a very weird, clean number. I was kind of surprised. I checked this morning. That's what it is right now. It might be at 61. I don't know. But Heiko made a live video on it on his fishing channel, and that's where most of the sales came from right off the bat. So I wouldn't wait much longer if you are interested in potentially ever making a YouTube channel. It's only $1. I mean, it's really a no-brainer, even if you just gave it to your friend or just had it for, you know, a rainy day in the future where you're just, you know, thinking, I would actually like to do this. So, you know, go over there, check it out. You will have to use the link here or you will not get the $1 discount promotion right now. So make sure to click on either this link, I'll have it in the video description below. And then once you basically sign up to the course, this is going to be the new website. You just sign in, and or you can go below and select which course you would want to take. For those of you guys who do not know Heiko yet, definitely check him out. This is him. He's my brother. He runs his own YouTube channel, South Florida Fishing Channel. It's got, I don't know, roughly 30,000 subscribers, and he teaches you everything that he does to generate revenue off of his 2 YouTube channels, and basically he's also going to be creating one from scratch again to show you guys that it's possible and you can do it from zero, and he reviews everything with you guys. And also there's a Discord chat, so you can join that after you get the course. He wants to do a lot of stuff with collaboration, so it's going to be a great way for any new channel to get a lot of promotion right off the bat by making some videos together. Alright, let's get right into the chart so we can lay down some lines on where we think key support and resistance levels are going to be for this upcoming week, which will allow us to make some really nice trades based on support and resistance. You can see here there is a lot of nice movement and we are holding our highs. It's always important to see that we're holding our highs in a trade like this. If it's completely, you know, winding down and giving up all its gains, it's pretty much a pretty big sign that the breakout is over, the momentum is dried up, and the bears have won. But if we are holding our highs like this, there's always a good chance of a second breakout and the price will keep on running. And actually it kind of looks like we might be seeing a little bit of that. Big orders coming through. 370 Litecoin just bought. 370 Litecoin is a pretty solid amount. What are we at? What's the price? 45.6. Just to give you guys a quick little example of what kind of orders. So that's almost $17,000 being executed in a split second. Here's another. This is probably closer to, you know, $12,000, $13,000. So these are big orders going through. I know I had a friend once that asked me, you know, if I trade with $10,000, is it going to be you know, executed? Won't that act as a key support and resistance level on my order? And I'm like, $10,000 with these larger cap cryptocurrencies is nothing. Sometimes I see, you know, $100,000 get shot through like it didn't exist. So that is really not something I would worry about unless you're trading smaller cap currencies. So if your currency only has a total market cap of about, you know, $5 million, then yeah, that your order will affect the chart a lot more than if you trade Litecoin or Bitcoin. So right now I'm on the 4-hour view and I'm also looking at BTC USD shorts. This shows the amount of short interest available on Bitcoin. So how many short positions are people taking against Bitcoin? So basically hoping that the price goes down. And you can see here, actually, if you zoom out, I'm going to go to the 1-day chart to give a little better perspective. You can see that I've drew a little line here, and this is kind of where we've been topping out a lot of times. You typically don't see short interest over this point, and every time I have seen it over this point, we've been in for a little bit of a reversal. Here's some other lines I've noticed are some key support and resistance levels. Anyway, you can kind of see that we even just bounced off near this line again. And right now there's a lot of shorts kind of building up their positions, but they keep getting rejected over and over again. And I'm thinking that we might actually be in for a bit of a potential reversal in the short interest if we break this line and go back to the levels that we saw in January while we were in the bull market. Right now, where a lot of people are thinking potentially near a potential bottom in the crypto bear market. So if we are and the price starts consolidating, shorts might keep closing their positions, and this chart will keep going down as shorts close their position. It's not something I ever put too much weight in, because sometimes I see short positions go up 10% and the price of Bitcoin also go up roughly the same. So it's kind of hard to say really, especially in the short term, what it really means, but it's an interesting thing to keep an eye on, because if you see these kind of levels, it kind of gives you a bit of an idea that we might have some sort of reversal on our hands. So looking at Bitcoin, I'm going to go back to the 4-hour chart and zoom in a little bit. In the last weekly trade review, I drew these two green lines and I extended them a bit further. They were originally from over here, and I said we're going to probably be seeing a bit of resistance near the $3,700 area and the $3,600 area. And well, we have definitely been seeing that, but last week we kind of broke down from this $3,600 area a lot. And what it seemed like was the real bottom was a bit closer to 3,550. And actually, this is kind of where this huge red dip ended. So I'm going to move this down a little bit over here, move this up just a bit further, and then I'll actually leave this one. I'll extend it out because I do really like the $3,700 area. It seems like there's always resistance here. Although I must say, at this $3,675 level, it's also an interesting spot because we originally got rejected from it for the first time here. We bounced off of it here, and then we touched it here. So I would say just in this general vicinity right around here, there's a lot of resistance. So it's going to be really interesting to see if we can break this resistance level and keep running to the upside. Because once we break this area, I would say our next major resistance level will potentially be around this $4,000 area. Simply for the fact that the first major shoulder is right around here, again at the $4,000 area. Something else that I want to take a quick look at is the moving average, the 180-day moving average. It's an interesting indicator to see general trends, and right now what I really like is that we broke out from this level, which kind of in the past acted as a bit of more of a resistance. Every time we approached this level, we got rejected, and then here we finally broke out of it, and now this general level, which is almost following my resistance line right here, is now acting as a bit of support. Every time we get close to it, we bounce off of it fairly nicely. So right now, in the short term, I would say, as in the daily, we have a bit of change in momentum where the bulls have taken over, and we can see a lot more potential long chart patterns to trade off of. The next currency I want to look at is Ethereum. Now Ethereum is really doing wonders. Last night it just shot through the roof. You can see here when it was creating this first stair, it was holding its highs extremely well, and it was kind of forming one of those ascending channel patterns that we looked at before. Remember the day trade I made where it broke out, got rejected, and came back down? It's kind of forming one of those. You can see higher lows, so here higher low, here higher low, here higher low, but every time it goes to the upside, it kind of gets rejected from this area. And finally, the 2 points came together, and then we had a huge volume come in, and then a breakout to the upside. This is just classic chart patterns, and it's a lot of fun to watch, and this is really what we've been waiting for in the market for a while. We've been having a lot of this kind of slow sideways consolidation to the downside, and it was kind of driving me insane because I was not getting any really good long trading opportunities, and now finally we're seeing those really nice patterns that we've been waiting for so long. So I couldn't be more excited. It's going to be really interesting to see how far Ethereum can go. We're definitely going to probably be seeing a huge resistance here at the $160 level, and potentially even before at the $150 level, where the first main shoulder begins right around here. So if we can break the 150, again at the 160, we'll see resistance, and probably again where this bear flag was forming on the way down. So there's going to be a lot of new upcoming resistance levels, but right now it looks like the price is running, and it's going to be really interesting to see how far it can go. Really quickly, let's see what we can expect with Litecoin. And right now, here is, whoops, what's happening with my lines? Okay, so here you can see that this was the ascending or bear flag. You could also say descending channel, because a bear flag is typically a lot shorter. Probably would have ended right around here. Typically, when a bear flag gets a lot longer, people say descending channel. And here you can kind of see multiple points of entry, and again where the general resistance was right around here, and eventually we broke out from that. We bounced back down to this line, which you see all the time from trend lines, right? There's a resistance line, break out from that, you come back and you bounce off. It's kind of like a new launch pad has formed. So that's what we're seeing right now, and the price is running. So this is a pretty interesting little trade to follow up with. You can see the last time I came over here with you guys, we saw that the price was at $45.29. Right now, let's see how it will affect our profits. It's at $45.60, let's say 65. So again, our profits are going up. Pretty exciting trade. I opened this trade with an account size of $8,000, 900, and I don't know, roughly 50. So a pretty clean trade. Moving over, you can see that if we take this, you can see our potential profits by going over to the trade journal, going to day trades, and seeing what these potential profits would be. So basically, right now the price is $45.65. We got in 207 coins at $43.15, and that would be a 5.79% for $500. So this trade right now, quick $500 that I made basically overnight, simply by being able to identify these key support and resistance levels. So pretty exciting stuff what's going on here. I know there was a lot to talk about in this video, but I'm super happy you made it this far. I'm going to wrap things up just a little bit. If there's anything that fully did not click at in this trading video or any of my other videos, it's probably because you have not studied everything that I teach on this website or in the Intro to Crypto Trading course or the Advanced Crypto Trading course. My goal is to have the best crypto educational resources online when it comes to trading the best chart patterns and becoming a consistently profitable trader. I'm bringing that to you by having on average 5 trader watch lists per week. So every morning I publish a trader watch list. In real time, I document my trades so you guys can review them on your own time and learn from them. I share my complete investor portfolio. You go through the Advanced Crypto Trading course, which teaches you all about these support and resistance levels. You also learn about the ideal entry limit orders, ideal exit orders, and all that stuff, when to take profits. I teach it all. And then you also get access to my statistically backed chart pattern library, which basically is in every one of my trades. You can see here I document which chart pattern it is, and over time I get results, hard stats on the best chart patterns that work for me. You guys can build your own trade journal by just heading over to tradejournal.co and copying exactly what I have here. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to email me at alex@enzlo.com or leave a comment anywhere below where you see this video. Also remember, if you have not checked it out already, head over to the Intro to Crypto Trading course. It's 100% free. It's 5 days long and has 16 videos to help you throughout the whole entire course. Well, that's all from me. I wish you guys all the best and good luck trading, everyone. Ciao, ciao.